What should people avoid while traveling to Europe? Avoid any restaurant that tries to strong-arm you into entering. Falling in canals and walking on bicycle paths if they come to the Netherlands. Street scammers in Paris, anywhere really, I just mostly see it in Paris. In major cities, don't let anyone hand you anything such as flowers or whatever. Once it is in your hands, they start asking for money. They even gave a flower to one of my kids and then wouldn't take it back. Just set it on the ground and walk away. Do not put your bag/purse/backpack on the back of your chair when you sit down to eat, especially outside. Thieves look for this, in groups of 3 or 4. One of them will come from one side of you as a snatcher, and the rest will stand in a group very close to you taking or smoking, etc., pretending that they don't know the snatcher. Then the one guy will snatch your item, and run right through the group, in case someone is quick enough to chase. They will accidentally be in your way. Happened in Rome, but locals recognized it and broke it up. If you ever visit England and go to the lovely little town in Shropshire called Ludlow, you should avoid eye contact with Dennis, fucker will talk you to death. Petty theft and scams. Don't leave stuff lying in the seat next to you on public transport. Restaurants in touristy areas that have signs out front with pictures of the meals and the price featured prominently. Carry your wallet in your front pocket, if carrying a bag or purse, towards the front. It's a comment for all tourist areas, Europe just has a lot of them. Don't rent a car if you are going to stay at a major capital, it's not worth it, it's much better to use public transport and get an occasional Uber. Should be obvious, but I'll say it anyway, don't do the Hitler salute while in Germany. Not even as a joke, it's illegal. And, Holocaust denial is illegal in 18 European countries. LOL top of the list. Creepy dudes outside airports trying to split cabs. Unless your dad's Liam Neeson. Be respectful to memorial places. Don't come to the idea to make selfies or similar. Inform yourself about the traditions of the country. In some countries, you can openly make small talk with strangers, while in another one, you do have to approach them like a wild animal. If you're from the US, don't sign up for the bullshit $10 per day international service with Verizon or other service providers. Nearly any airport you arrive in will have a place where you can buy a SIM card to put in your phone at fraction of the price. For instance, I once got a SIM card in Seville, Spain for something like €12 and it came with a month of service and 9 GB of data. Edit, for using wrong name. EDIT2, apparently there are eSIM services you can get now that are even easier. I'm not familiar with them but probably worth looking into. Don't think that what goes for one country goes for all. There is all sorts of differences in cultures, laws, etc. Satan is designing your room in hell. What's one thing that you know he's putting in your room? A fitted sheet that constantly pops off the corner of my mattress. Only 3/4 corners will ever stay put. You fix one, another pops off. A smoke alarm with a permanently low battery. A magical chair that always makes its way into my path so I constantly stub my pinky toe on it. A blanket that's almost square, so I can never tell if it is going the right way. It also is too small in either direction, so that my feet and my shoulders can never be covered at the same time. One mosquito. To be replaced once I finally managed to find and kill it. Satan's got it easy, he can just leave me alone with my thoughts and I'll take it over from there. A ceiling fan that makes noises but it'll be too hot to turn off. A movie of all the lives I could have had but did not because I'm too afraid, anxious, and sad. A huge 72 TV that's constantly scrolling and reading out loud in that female American robot voice all r/AskReddit posts. Wasps. Someone eating, loudly. Toddlers. Screaming hungry toddlers. Adorable pet animals that don't live longer than a day. A really sexy looking guy who's intelligent and really into having his way with me. Did Satan believe me? Nice try, Satan. What is something entirely normal that sounds incredibly racist? In my hometown, a fella named Dr. White opened a chiropractor office that works specifically on patients' necks and related issues. They called themselves White Specific Chiropractic for a few years until they evidently realized how problematic that sounds. Now they are just Specific Chiropractic. I was at a bar with a sign that said no colors and I had never seen anything like this. I had to ask the owner what the sign meant and apparently it refers to motorcycle group colors. I come from an area with a lot of biker groups, so it definitely does make sense. After I saw it, that is a pretty common sign I have been seeing to indicate a friendlier atmosphere for non-bikers. Never make a Negroni without using a jigger. I like groomed blacks when talking about skiing. Skiing lingo could easily sound racist or drug-focused. My in-laws were telling us that the blacks across the road had looked after the house while they were away. Off mine and my husband's aghast looks, they quickly clarified, the blacks. MR and MRS black. These washing machines are for whites only. My ex-wife was born in Mexico. When we were married, I mentioned to a coworker that my wife was Mexican, and she replied, "Does your wife mind that you call her Mexican?" Chiggers, they are an insect that burrows under your skin here in the US southern states that typically hide in Spanish moss. If you've ever done any color grading, you've probably used the term crushing the blacks, or crushing blacks, which is just adjusting contrast in a way that pushes dark values towards black. During a text conversation, KKK in Brazil equals laughing or basically LOL. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Korean songs. The word niggardly. The country Niger. Apparently eating fried chicken and watermelon together, two delicious foods. In Ireland, Paki is short for Patrick. I can imagine the reaction if Irish people were walking down the street in UK or elsewhere and one shouted, "Oi Paki mate."